Okay, what's up, everybody? Good morning. Welcome to a hump day. No, you can't see it. Hump because of the light. Hump day edition of Morning Scone presented by BROC, the Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic, PARISH Construction and Roofing. You need an orthopedic, go to BROC. You need a roof, you call PARISH. And of course, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com, semaglutide, tirzepatide, the once-a-week injections for weight loss. And remember, you do telemed they can ship anywhere in the country. So it doesn't matter. I think there's maybe 2 states that are excluded, something like that. But anyway, so even if you're watching outside of Louisiana, Unique Physique, uniquephysique.com. And of course, Restored Motions, restoredmotions.com. Okay, what's up, y'all? Good morning. Hope everybody's Wednesday is off to an awesome start. You know the drill. As always, we'll get to everything that you have. So fire away with your questions. Yesterday, Tigers were at practice. Your boy was there. I'll get your practice report. Brian Kelly disclosed after practice, tight end Markway has entered the transfer portal. So Markway leaves LSU. Of course, Tigers signed 3 tight ends in that class a year ago with Markway, Kamorian Pimpton, and then Jackson McGowan. McGowan transferred after last season, went to Wisconsin. Now Markway's entered the portal. So Pimpton, the only tight end of that triumvirate, that trio that remains. But of course, Mason Taylor's tight end room and Trez Green has really splashed here. 5 practices into fall camp, and Kamorian Pimpton has played well also. So Markway enters the transfer portal. He did play in 12 games last year. Start the game Mason Taylor missed at Mississippi State. Markway started that game, and was actually really the most complete tight end. I mean, physically, you're let me put it this way: you're prototypical tight end. The thick physical guy who's the better blocker, whereas the Green and Pimpton are more pass catchers. But Markway also has a really athletic skill set where he can go catch the ball, run routes, catch the ball. So he's more of your prototypical complete tight end. But anyway, so Markway enters the portal. Tigers down a player there. So means more reps, obviously, for Pimpton and for Trez Green. Brian Kelly also shared some news. Jalen Lee, Braden Swinson, they're finishing up summer school, their summer session, so they can graduate. Class ends on Monday, so they should rejoin the team on Monday. They have been practicing in the evenings, so they don't have to go through that acclimation period, which is mandated by the NCAA, where, if a player joins a team late or something like that, there's like a 4 or 5 day acclimation period, whatever it is, where they have to slowly ramp up before they can join the team full. So, anyway, Jalen Lee, Braden Swinson should be back with the team. They're practicing just on their own in the evenings with it's just the 2 of them with assistant coaches and trainers and strength staff, but they'll be with the team on Monday. And then what was the other one? Xavion Thomas, hamstring, just a tweak. They're just taking it easy on him, not serious. And then notes. It's not my notes. That's my notes from 2 days ago. I don't know where my notes are. Anyway, there was one other personnel situation. Preston Hickey has left the team as well, defensive lineman who transferred from the North Shore, went to Oklahoma State, transferred to LSU as preferred walk-on. Anyway, if I can think of it, I'll let you know. All right, fire away. You know the drill. Got questions, comments, concerns? Let's go. YouTube, please smash that like button, subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Trivia, what's good? Good morning. Brian Penn, good morning from Moline, Illinois. I do understand why he left. He wasn't going to get any playing time. I think he wanted probably go somewhere we can show his talents. Brian, I don't actually agree with you there, man. Markway played in 12 games last year. He started the one game that Mason Taylor was out. I just talked about like he was the most complete tight end. Certainly, if they went to a too tight set with Mason Taylor in the game and they wanted to flex Mason Taylor out, the best blocker they had certainly was Markway. So I don't know that I totally agree. And then also the timing of it is super weird because now he's got to enter the portal before the semester starts so he can go somewhere and play immediately this year. If the semester had started, he wouldn't be able to. He can't go somewhere as a scholarship player now. He would have to be a preferred walk-on somewhere and pay his way, but he can go play somewhere this year. But man, you're into the second week of fall camp. I mean, you're 3 weeks from the season started. Like, how quickly can you really ramp up and acclimate at a new place? I mean, let's say he takes this week to find out where he's going to go, and then next week is on a practice field. We're 2 weeks from the opener somewhere. Is 2 weeks enough time to get you acclimated to go play? Maybe in some limited role, but I don't know. Just, timing is strange to do it now. When guys leave in fall camp, it's strange when they do it now. Because where are you going to go to be able to jump right in and play? Abner, good morning. Deborah Coward, good morning. Gorilla, good morning. Tero Walker, good morning. Smell the football's in the air in Memphis. Let's go. All right, man. Thanks for walking in Memphis. My friend Michael, good morning. Happy Khalid Lockett decision day. Yeah, man. We'll see how it goes for Khalid Lockett. Probably thinking that's going to be Texas, but LSU's got a hat on the table, so we'll see. But if Khalid Lockett's Texas, we're really looking for to see what happens with Jamie French, 5-star. I think we're all expecting that Philip Wright from Destrehan will, in fact, pick LSU, after he decommitted from Michigan. So we'll see. But, yeah, we'll see what Khalid Lockett elects to do, man. Jordan Taylor, good morning. Brent, good morning. Make defense great again. Morning, Matt. If LSU played a game Saturday, do you think Stamps and Woodland would be the starters? I do not. Every rep that we've seen so far, the ones have been at corner have been Sage Ryan and Ashton Stamps, and your safeties have been Jordan Gilbert and Jordan Allen. Oh, I keep in my head, I'm seeing 6, and I know that's Jordan Allen, but I keep wanting to say Juwan Johnson. Juwan Johnson's the freshman who is wearing 24 and is playing the star role behind Major Burns. So no, but one of the things we did see was when they went nickel, we saw them go run a nickel package yesterday, and when they went nickel, Greg Penn came off the field, Whit Weeks went on the field, and Jair Brown was the first nickel. And then the second nickel was PJ Woodland. So I think Woodland is firmly entrenched there in the 2 deep right now. But if they continue to run Sage Ryan at corner, which they have all throughout camp so far, then Sage and Ashton Stamps look like they're your starting cornerbacks right now. Jason, good morning, Uncle Scone. What's up with Markway rolling out late Monday night? Yeah, man. That's the really challenging thing, man. I mean, I'm sure I don't know. I mean, maybe he's got something going on personal in his life. I have no idea. I don't know the extent of that. He posted on social media that he's entering the transfer portal. Usually these things come down to playing time and opportunity, things like that. But, I mean, you came to a place where, you had a young tight end firmly entrenched ahead of you, and he was one of 3 tight ends in his signing class. So, I mean, of course there's going to be competition, but if it's a playing time thing, there could always be things going on, internally that we don't know. But the timing of it is so, if Markway had decided to enter the portal after last season, like when Jackson McGowan did, that maybe would have been a little more understandable. The timing now just is weird. Hey, Ron, good morning. All right, good morning from Vegas. Looking forward to being there in about 3 weeks. Hey, Chef, good morning. Gorilla, as usual, love from Georgia. I have a family reunion coming up this weekend. Look forward to meeting these Dogs fans. How they used to be so darn mediocre under Rick. The thing about Rick was Rick always had really good teams. He could just never break through, man. You know what I mean? He'd win 10 games and always have them in the hunt, but they could just never break through. And it started so promising. I mean, I think Mark Richt's first or second year, maybe his second year was 02. They didn't they go win a Sugar Bowl like in 2002 against Florida State? Because Richt was at Florida State. Yeah, sure did. They won the SEC because, of course, they beat Arkansas in the SEC championship game, then beat Florida State in the Sugar Bowl. Yeah, I mean that was the second year that Richt was there. They were 13-1, 7-1 in the SEC. Their only loss was to Florida, and that was the 2002 Ron Zook Florida team that LSU blew the doors off of in Gainesville, and that was their only loss that season. I mean, think about how close they were. James McKinney, good morning. Club Ruckus, good morning. Lando Cal Risk CN, got it. Markway was a treat to have. I just think Trey'Dez Green ended up mixing things up a bit for the depth chart. The difference is, I mean, listen, I've raved about Trey'Dez. I mean, he's been great. And Brian Kelly talked about him again yesterday, the way he's assimilated at the tight end spot. He just hasn't really had a tough transition to college football. The difference is Markway had a skill set that Trey'Dez and Kamorian Pimpton don't have right now, which is his blocking ability. I mean, I might even put, Mason Taylor's better blocker for sure, but Markway isn't far behind, Hey, Mark, Drew Brees in NOLA this week for Pickleball Fest. Yeah, Brees, I think does he own a pickleball league or a pickleball team, something like that? Oh, look at that. Kyle Turley's in town to meet fans at Comic Con. Okay. Old Kyle Turley. What an era of Saints football that was. Coach Nate Green, good morning. Hey, Taro, any names and numbers we should look out for filling blocking tight end responsibilities? No. I mean, you're down to 3. It's Mason Taylor, Kamorian Pimpton, and Trey'Dez Green. So, I mean, you like I said, you signed 3 tight ends last class, but Jackson McGowan's gone. And now Mac Markway's gone. So you add Trey'Dez. I mean, those are your tight ends. I mean, unless there's somebody I'm missing. But I mean, I'm out there every day and paying attention and taking notes. And I haven't seen another tight end out there. Let's see. They might have a walk-on or something. Giovanni Peterson, Landon Craig, Gabe Leonards. I mean, if you want one to watch, it's Giovanni Peterson. So he wears number 45, 6'4", 250. He's a big body. And honestly, if I go back and look at my notes, it's I keep my notebooks together. The first day of drills, Peterson did have a reception with the ones in 7-on-7. So that may be, that may be the guy if you're looking for another name to watch. That's up. Now that I say that out loud, I'll keep an eye on him today to see if he ends up getting more reps. 45, Peterson. Taylor Hudson, good morning, Matt. Should we be worried about tight end depth now? Only if you have an injury. And I think what would happen is you potentially become like, if something happens to Mason Taylor, again, knock on wood, but if something happened to Taylor, maybe you become predictable by personnel. If you got Green and Pimpton on the field, they're not blocking, most likely not blocking. Hey, Wendell Norman, good morning. Lendo, thanks for all you do, Matt. For people like me all the way in San Antonio, away from my beloved Louisiana. Hey, man, thanks so much for watching. Appreciate you for being there. I'll remind you, man, if you're not familiar, I want to share this news with y'all about Locked On. So I'll make this very, very brief. So yesterday we got our numbers from July, which was my first full month back on Locked On. I did like 2 weeks in June, and so July was my first full month. If you remember, I told you there's about 60-ish podcasts on the college channel for Locked On. And when I took over LSU was like 42nd or something like that. Oh, I like your skirt, babe. Okay. Oh, babe, you got some stuff on your eyes. Yeah. Okay. She hasn't like put her makeup on you. It just like blopped right there. Anyway, my goal was by the time we finished July, by the time camp started, I wanted to be back in the top 10. And by the time LSU kicked off against USC, I wanted to have the numbers for the pod back where I had them when I left 2 years ago. Well, we weren't 10th my first full month by the time camp started. Locked on LSU was third. So all the way up in 1 month, really 6 weeks, but in the first full month, all the way up to third. So I'm so grateful to everybody who has gone and subscribed to that podcast or watched it on YouTube, and it just helped us tremendously grow it very quickly. So, and I've told you before, candidly, the way there's no salaries on Locked On. It's a straight revenue share. So whatever revenue the podcast generates from downloads and CPMs and all that stuff, that's a rev share with Locked On and the host. So I sincerely appreciate everybody for listening to the pod. So go to Apple or Spotify, wherever you get your pods, and please subscribe to Locked On LSU. So thought of it because our friend Lando there is in San Antonio, and if you want some LSU news, again, it's 20-25 minutes a day, a little tight package of just LSU news and opinions at Locked On. So thanks for being there. Brian Wynn, good morning. Asan Wynn, morning. Thoughts, Matt, your thoughts on, since Brian Kelly hired Baker, Raymond Davis, etc., should Tommy Moffitt have been one of the rehired too? Listen, so each of those, I think, needs to exist in a vacuum. You need to take each of those individually. So Bo Davis wasn't on staff before, so I don't think he goes into the mix. He wasn't on staff when Brian Kelly was hired. Remember, so Baker and Raymond weren't retained. Bo Davis wasn't on staff here when Brian Kelly got the job, so I think you need to take him out. I've said many times that I think not retaining Corey Raymond was a gigantic mistake, probably the biggest mistake Brian Kelly made when he was hired. Because if you retain Corey Raymond, guys like Eli Ricks, Dwight McGlothern, they may never leave, so you may never have the turnover you had, and the secondary may never have gotten as bad as it was. And maybe with a better defense a year ago and Jaden Daniels, maybe you win a championship. Maybe not. Blake Baker, you hired Blake Baker. Was the linebacker coach. You weren't gonna hire him to be your defensive coordinator. The defense coordinator you hired was Matt House, and he coached linebacker. So you didn't have a spot for Blake Baker. So I get them all except Corey Raymond. Letting Corey Raymond go was a very bad decision. I would agree letting Tommy Moffitt go was not smart either. Let me not say that. I think Jake Flint has done a great job. From all accounts, I think Jake Flint and his staff have done a great job keeping the guys healthy, in shape. I mean, there's no complaints there at all. And two things can be true. Tommy Moffitt can be the greatest strength coach we've ever seen, and Jake Flint can be doing a great job too. Each coach, it's their prerogative to hire whoever they want to hire. And Tommy Moffitt was really an institution here, from Nick to Les to Ed. I mean, it's rare for a coach to survive, for an assistant to survive a coaching change. He survived two of them, from Nick to Les and Les to Ed. He's incredible. And I think I hate that he's at Texas A&M. I mean, hate that he's at Texas A&M, because he's going to make them tough, and he's going to make them strong and talented and good. But again, like you asked, should he have been one of the rehires? Well, you weren't letting go Jake Flint. Jake Flint's done a really good job. So no, in that sense. You You could go back and say, should he have retained Tommy Moffitt when he was hired? And I would argue yes. But again, that's Brian Kelly's prerogative. Mark, yesterday Brian Kelly mentioned scheme on defense. It sounded like a shot at Matt House. You were in the room. Did it feel that way? So the question or the comment Mark's talking about there is Brian Kelly was asked about Blake Baker's pressure schemes, pressure looks, and all that. And what Brian Kelly said, I'm paraphrasing here, was you can have all the exotic looks you want, but you have to be able to execute them. You have to have the players to execute them. So you can take that as a shot at Matt House. You can take it as a shot at the personnel that they've had in the past. I think, but what he was talking about was Blake Baker's exotic blitz schemes. So I think there's some of that. I don't know that it was a shot at anyone. I think Brian Kelly has just been incredibly candid. Sometimes when you sit in a press conference and you hear coaches' answers, and when answers, like I guess I know this just because we cut audio and I look at audio sound bites all the time. And typically for radio, I want something like a 15 to 20 second sound bite. That's the meat, right? Well, Brian Kelly's been giving these long, whimsical answers that are like a minute and a half, 2-minute answers to questions, which is great. He's giving, and he's not rambling. Like, he's giving you a ton of detail. But I think that's important because there is a lot of context associated with all of these, and he's providing all of that context instead of just giving a short answer. I don't know that answers your question, but I didn't find it as a shot at Matt House. I just think he was being very honest to say, like, it doesn't matter if it's Matt House or Blake Baker. Like, you can be a brilliant defensive coordinator and draw up all these blitzes and schemes and coverages, but if you don't execute them, it doesn't matter. So they're kind of hand in hand. Tiger Diver, good morning. Leon Williams, good morning. Bubba Smith, good morning. Weston Weaver, good morning from San Antonio. One of the best family trips we've taken. Okay, Weston, what are y'all doing, man? I love San Antonio. Erica's a really good friend. Erin and her husband William live in San Antonio. And actually, when Erica and I were dating, our first Christmas together, I gave her a trip to San Antonio where she and I went to San Antonio and stayed with William and Erin and visited them and got to go see San Antonio. And I loved it, man. Great city. Really, really enjoyed it. Did the river walk and the Alamo and all the touristy stuff. So, but great. But love San Antonio. What's the giant bakery there? What's it called? It's a Spanish bakery. La Panderia. That was it. So, I'm pretty sure La Panderia, giant place. I think is pretty much widely acclaimed as like the best bakery, Spanish bakery. All right, let's see. Dylan Landry, good morning. Rocky, good morning. Just like that, Joe Sloan found Trey Green a lot of playing time. Charlie Cavell, good morning. Oh, Charlie, I got your email. Charlie, I'll reply to you. I got your email. Thank you. Jordan Taylor, what's the depth look like now that we have a fourth or just a 3-man rotation and pray no one gets hurt? Yeah, again, I think, remember a few years ago when Brian Kelly first got here and they were thin at tight end and they brought Nick Storrs over. Do you remember that? The pitcher? I think it's one of those types of situations where if you're looking for that depth, that next guy, I think it's Giovanni Peterson. So Peterson is listed at 6'4", 250. He's from Colorado. He's a junior. He has lettered. So, I think it's one of those things where the next body, if you need the 6'3", 250-pound body to attach as a tight end and be a blocker, it's Peterson, I think, would be the next guy. But I don't know that he's going to get a ton of playing time. Ryan, morning. Just heard Justin Simmons was visiting the Saints today. Do you think he signs? That's interesting. I did not hear that. I mean, that must have just broken this morning. That's something we've been talking about. There you go. 1 hour ago. Okay. I love that. That's something we've been talking about for a long time now about Simmons, and one of those that's been rumored to the Saints for a while. Listen, uh, we all love Tyrann Mathieu, and we love and last year the combination of Jordan Howden and Jonathan Abram played really well when Marcus May was injured and suspended. But I mean, you're talking about an all-pro caliber safety in Justin Simmons, who would immediately make you better at that position. And yes, I would wholeheartedly endorse that. Now, it's probably going to be a 1-year deal, probably similar to what you gave to Willie Gay. But yes, on an aging defense, if you have a chance to get younger, and Simmons is Simmons is 30. Let me not say that, because Jonathan Abram and Jordan Howden are young. Jonathan Abrams 27. So Jonathan Abrams 27 and Jordan Howden's 23, 24, So I'll correct myself and say you're not necessarily getting younger if you sign Simmons, but you're signing a more talented veteran player, probably on a 1-year deal. And definitely gives you depth and a higher ceiling, I think, at safety. Hey, Jeff, good morning. Mark Allen, BK said all 3 tight ends could be on the field together. That'd be crazy. So we've actually seen that already, Mark, so far in this camp. And it's not unrealistic. I mean, you could put Mason Taylor as an attached tight end and have the other 2 flexed. I mean, and they're basically just big slot receivers in that sense. Like, I think that's a really smart idea in the red zone. Why wouldn't you have Mason Taylor releasing over the middle and then a 6'6" and 6'7" guy, with jumping ability on the outside? I mean, how do you defend that? Do you put a 5'11" safety on Trey'Dez Green? You put a 6-foot linebacker on Kamorian Pimpton? I mean, I think that's a really good look in the red zone. But then if you do that, you're going to take Kyron Lacey and Chris Hilton and CJ Daniels off the field. It's a good problem to have, but that's something that Joe Sloan's going to have to work through. Let's see. Brian, don't forget Saints play Saturday. Yeah, man, been talking about it. Saints play the Cardinals Saturday in Arizona. Saints did release their unofficial depth chart on Tuesday, and Jake Haener, the number 2 quarterback, also interesting. Lucas Patrick running with first team at left guard. So I know Nick Saldiveri's been injured, but Lucas Patrick taking that spot there. Also, it was interesting to see Carl Granderson or Chase Young at right defensive end. I wouldn't think Chase Young is challenging Carl Granderson for reps. I think he'd be challenging Cam Jordan for reps with the way Cam played a year ago. Brad, good morning. Do you like Gus Johnson as an announcer? Not my favorite. Great energy. I think there's an art to subtlety at times. I think Gus's energy is really his hallmark, and that's the thing that people love that about him. I like subtlety more, but it's just preference. All right, please smash the like button if you would. Subscribe to the channel, Facebook, like the page, share the post. Let me say this again real quick. Facebook. So we did the show on my professional page for years. Facebook changed some algorithm stuff, so I moved it to the profile. So if you could, please, you can follow the profile. It's I changed the picture. It's the picture of me and Erica from this weekend at Pato's Piano Bar. But anyway, if you would just follow that page, that would be a big help. So thank you very much. Shout out to BROC, Baton Rouge Orthopedic Clinic in Orthopedics. Go to BROC. Need a roof? You call PARISH. BROC, PARISH, parishbuilt.com. Love to help you with that free, no obligation roofing inspection. Remember, if it's BROC, PARISH, or Unique Physique, or Restored Motions, we've got all of the links to all of our sponsor in the description of the page, of the post on YouTube, and I'll make sure on Facebook they're linked. All of them are linked on Facebook as well, but I have to go back and do that after the episode. Weird how I have to do the description on my software, my streaming software, so I can't do it on Facebook until after the stream ends. Anyway. Okay. Man, appreciate y'all for being here this morning. 181 watching live. Love that on a Wednesday. Daniel, good morning, Scone. Been watching for years. Finally get to watch live. Thank you, Daniel. Appreciate that, man. Great to see you. Thanks for being here. Thanks for always being there, even when you're not there live. Cheers. David shows how talented the tight end room is. The 3 guys that they have are all having great camps. I mean, and maybe quietly, subtly, the thing we should be talking about is how impressive Mason Taylor's been. I mean, every practice, he's just so steady. Every practice he's out there. It's like, oh, Mason caught another one. It's just Mason Taylor's going to have a great year. Hey, Kelly Gross, good morning. Joey B, will the committee see the college football playoff teams to avoid first-round conference matchups like they do for regionals in baseball? I guess that's seed. I doubt it, but maybe. It's just going to have to be something that we all wait and see and learn together. But I don't know how you do that, because you're not talking about a 64-team field where you have that luxury, where the difference between, a 2 and a 3 isn't massive. If you're traveling, you're traveling. But, when you only have 7 at-large spots, and you have 4 buys, your group of 5 team is very likely going to be the 12. I mean, how do you avoid it? I think that's an inevitability that you're going to run upon that. Tiger Diver, how have the punters looked? Honestly, Tiger Diver, not great. We watched on Monday. I spent some time watching the specialists, and Peyton Todd and Blake Oxendorf, the transfer from Louisiana Tech, and then also those are the only 2 working on punting. Just still inconsistent, man. I'm not sure that there's a real lead there. Guy Brooks, good morning. Hope Drew's doing well. Have an awesome day. Thank you, guys. Same to you, man. Hope you and your family are doing great. Brandon Ray, no J.K. Johnson. J.K. Johnson's out there running with the 2s. It's God dog it. It's my other notebook. Oh wait, I may have it here. Hang on. Yeah, I think I don't have it on that sheet, but I'm almost positive, and that's on my other notebook, that I believe J.K. Johnson's running with the 2. So your first corners are Sage Ryan and Ashton Stamps. When they ran nickel yesterday, Jair Brown went in as the nickel. Your number 2s are P.J. Woodland and J.K. Johnson, and Woodland. No, that was in the nickel. Woodland was the number 2. Nickelback. So that must have been Brown. It's in my other notebook. I'm sorry, y'all. But no, J.K. Johnson's running with the 2s. Tony, I don't understand why kids quit 5 practices in. If you start a season, you should finish it, then leave if you like. What's up with Hickey? I think with Hickey, it's the same thing. They brought in, obviously, 2 transfers in Paez and Suggs. Paez is running with the 1s. Your first team defensive tackles have been Jacoby and Guillory and Gio Paez. And then when the 2s rotate in, we've been seeing Sean Washington and JVR Suggs, who's been in there. So in that 4-man rotation, and then obviously guys like Don McKinley are getting reps. I think, for Preston Hickey, it's a thing where no matter how well you play, if you're the walk-on and there's a 5-star or transfer that you went and got, like, the 5-star or the transfer is going to get the reps, if all else is equal. So I think that's probably what's happening there with Hickey. He's probably looking to go somewhere where he's going to be able to have a better chance to play. Dick Tilley, have a great Parish Day. Thank you, sir. That would be Mr. Richard Tilley Sr. Yeah, if y'all need a roof, give us a shout. Parish Construction and Roofing, parishbuilt.com. Excited, man. Our new office over on Live Oak Lane is almost ready. Be moving in soon. Lando, morning, Matt. From what you've done in and outside the scenes, Does our front seven look strong enough to compete with top offenses? DBU isn't concerned of mine personally with Raymond back home. Well, DBU should still be a concern because you don't have anywhere near the personnel that you had when Corey Raymond was here before. And that is a problem. But I think they're better. The thing that I've consistently said is I think it's pretty clear this defense is better than they were a year ago. Like just as far as the defensive line. So yesterday, when they did the pass rush drill, I charted every rep. I don't know if you could see this, but so like here's the first 5, second 5, third teamers. Then they went again. First team, second team, third team. And I charted them all. And when the first team went the first time, offense 1-2, defense 1-2, and there was a push. Second unit, offense 1-2, defense 1-2, and there was a push. Third unit, offense 1-1, defense 1-1, and there were 3 stalemates. Like it was a draw basically. And 2 days ago, when we got to see all of them on Monday, the offense really had a day in that drill. But you saw some really impressive stuff, like Jacobian Guillory had a nice bull rush win against Miles Frazier. Tyree Adams had a really nice win against Deshaun Womack. Garrett Dellinger just absolutely manhandled Don McKinley, but again, when you have a 4-year starter, it's going to go like that sometimes. Miles Frazier had a great win against Gio Paez, which really drew the ire of Bo Davis. Anyway, so I mean, both sides had some really nice wins. Emory Jones had a stalemate, just stonewalled PARISH. I mean, Will Campbell. Will Campbell's Will Campbell. I don't think I've ever seen him lose a rep. Anyway, Cajun Country, Morning Hope Drew has a great day and loves all his teachers. Thank you, Cajun Country. Listen, we're really excited for the school year for Drew. He starts his first day is next Wednesday, so not today, but we're really excited. And I know he's ready to get back to school too. So he'll have the same teacher, Miss Cindy and Miss Claudette. So the way they kind of cluster elementary. He'll have a lot of the same people, and so it'll be great. Be a really, really great year for Drew. Thank you, man. Hey, Dad. Good morning. Jesse Brown. Good morning. What to see in the Saints preseason game? Offensive line, naturally, because I don't think you listen. I understand Fuanga and Penning are probably going to be your starters. But I don't think you can just assume that and not play them. Like, they need reps. So I want to see the offensive line. Curious if Chase Young plays. If so, how much? Does a guy like Isaiah Foskey make any type of progress? I'm assuming we're not going to see Marshawn Lattimore, so great opportunity for Kool-Aid McKinstry. And then obviously the backup quarterbacks as well. Bailey, I think LSU is right to focus on recruiting and then fill holes in the portal. However, when you lose a third of your class yearly, you can't just get bargain bin players like they did last year. Oh my God, it is 8:09. Oh man. Sorry, this is program director stuff. This is the world blowing up and we have to deal with it. Okay. My apologies, y'all. I really have to go. It's 8:10. Yeah, I have to go. Okay. All right. My apologies, y'all. I missed so many of you, and I'm so sorry for that. There's 180 people watching, and there's a million comments, and I'm sorry, but I got to go. Thank you for watching. Please smash the like button. Links for all of our sponsors are in the YouTube description, and I'll make sure they're all tagged on the Facebook page as well. So LSU has practice this morning. Media availability about 9:45, and then Joe Sloan meets with reporters after. So on AFR today, I'll have full practice report. Locked on LSU tomorrow, all that stuff. So we'll look forward to seeing you then. So thank you so much for being here. Y'all have an awesome day. Please smash the like button. We'll see you. Peace.